weird because we wouldn't have been allowed to walk around here at this time.
Yeah, because usually the show would be going on. It is 2020, July, during COVID-19. Hill Cumorah has one more year left. It's an off season because of the virus. You're cataloging this. So this is the classic wig shop, not the new wig shop.
Also, your eyes don't dilate in red lights.
Go here for some wigs, rather.
You can go outside and still see in the dark, sort of like how pirates wore eye patches, so they didn't have to wait for their eyes to readjust. They could go outside and have an outside eye, and then when they went downstairs, they flipped their eye patch onto the other eye. Well, maybe they just lifted up their eye patch. I don't know. And then they had one eye that was already used to the dark.
We already checked the doors. So, they are.
You can see in the dark.
Oh, no, I am. Just a few steps away from the wig shop. We got the ye old prop shop combined with changing rooms. These changing rooms used to be super sweaty and used to be super packed. But later on they built a bigger changing room, so these ones stopped getting as much traffic. Here's a classic Hill Cumorah Pageant chair. Not gonna see that around town for much longer. This is like a little mirror. You come out of the prop shop. I mean, not the prop shop. You come out of the changing room. You check your costume, adjust your wig. The old men sign. Old men will remember.
Did this hold swords and like weapons?
I don't remember. No, I think these were torch holders. I think. I could be wrong, but I think these were torch holders. The weapons went in... Well, there was like a wood thing on top of this thing. Okay. And there was like bigger holes where like the swords would go. But the swords are probably in storage because those are kind of nicer props. These are like the styrofoam sphinxes that they would bring out for certain scenes. Styrofoam.
I didn't remember this when I was there, but I was watching back the footage, and those bags they see on the right, those would go kind of behind the stage, and on certain scenes, someone would get pushed or get thrown off the stage. They would land on those big cushions to soften the blow. So they didn't die when they hit the ground. One time when I was 13, someone dared me to jump off the stage onto one, and I did it, and I got in very big trouble, and I got yelled at.
Blocks for the... Do you remember what the styrofoam was for? Oh!
For people jumping off the stage.
Was it?
During the...
For some reason, I remember like kneeling on styrofoam.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe that was just a me thing, though. But I remember, like, I think in the destruction scene,
yeah,
they used a lot of styrofoam props, just, things flying around. These are the old benches. And a spooky Halloween mask, that wasn't used for anything. You see that, Samantha? That's spooky. Imagine if the Hill Cumorah used that. What a year that would be. It's actually, that's like the counter. And usually it's, yeah, you usually just against that wall, and he would be like, I think his name was Prescott.
You have to show your tags?
No, but he would just be working on stuff. He'd be like, making props here.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was like...
Because it was like one or two guys. It was Prescott, and I think the other guy's like, last name was Matthews. I think it was Janessa's dad. And they would, they'd build props here together. Just dudes being dudes. I got this thing. One time, wait, I gotta tell you a story. One time I was sitting on this thing, and I was drowning bugs because I was 13. And Matthew Richardson came up. He was probably really little, like 7 or 8. He was like, "What are you doing?" And then his dad told him not to talk to me. because I was drowning bugs like a little school shooter. I think this is where they kept it might be in there actually. In one of these little huts they kept like the lighting equipment. Yeah. Cuz one of the Nelsons was in charge of that, of making the towers. And one time I went in there to help him like look for lenses for the light towers. Let's check this out. This might be a security booth? I don't remember. Just looking here.
I see a stroller.
Yeah, we see some.
Can I have that stroller?
That's a nice stroller, yeah.
Oh, it's a sit and stand, so
That's a
it's
nice
for
stroller.
kids.
Yeah, I think this was a security booth.
And there's some pictures on the ground.
Yeah, there's a picture of Jesus in there. Oh shoot, it's open, yeah. Just I think now it's just being used storage.
Do you recognize any of the people?
Yeah, this must be security. Lots of family stuff in here. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Like there's stuff here?
I mean, if it's their calling for multiple years and they don't plan on you know, on a release date, like why not? Like you know, that's their space. We have the iconic pageant bathrooms, iconic pageant lights, and not lights, drinking fountains. These are new though. I don't remember these, Samantha. You remember these? Yeah. Yeah. I think before it was just a faucet. See if the red lights are out. Red lights? Nope. Samantha, I used to spend so long in these bathrooms. I would bring my 3DS with me, and it was just nice to be alone, you know? So I would go in there just for hours. My legs would fall asleep. Not hours, but like 45 minutes. I would just be in there with my 3DS. You could be alone. You know, I play some Kid Icarus. It felt good just to be alone. Air conditioned. It's nice. Yeah, and I would buy, not stinky, it wasn't stinky in there, it smelled good. And I would buy like, what's that candy that like when you chew it, it's a gum, it becomes a gum?
Spree.
No, it's not Spree. It's like, I thought it was Spree at first too, it's not Spree. Jolts? No. Something like that. I used to eat a bunch of those in there. Just chew some gum, play some games. Let your pants down. This, so they would make costumes and store costumes in the back of the visitor center, which you can see there. We're not going to go around there just because, you know, we don't want to interfere. Yeah, I have my pants down in there. This is the back of the prop shop. We were already here earlier. But yeah, I think this is where they would make wigs. See if we can see anything in there.
Oh my gosh, it's empty.
Yeah, it's pretty much empty. But you can kind of see they would store wigs on those shelves. That's me. It looks kind of scary. Oh, there's a mosquito on me.
No, there's cocoons.
Oh, there's cocoons up there?
Look at them all.
Oh, yeah, spiders. Is there anything over here?
I'd have to get my a
You
head
think
wrap.
kinda... Really? You had to get a head wrap for your costume?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, wait. This looks familiar. Is that where you were assigned? Is this where you were assigned a costume? Or is that somewhere else?
This is where I always got dressed.
Yeah. I remember there being a changing room in here. I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah, for the boys. I mean, When I was, no, yeah, when you were a boy, wow, look at all those flies. That's gross. Those big old flies. That's a big old fly! Oh! Let's get out of here. Alright, so this is we call this the seating area the bowl. And in the corner where I'm pointing, the Garrows would build the cyber stage, which was like a drawing of the stage that would go in that corner, and we would like practice scenes on it when someone else was using the stage, but it wasn't very useful, to be quite honest. No offense to the Garrows, good people, but the cyber stage was not helpful and was very boring and very hot. But yeah, we would set up a bunch of chairs. Someone's Eagle Scout project once was setting up the chairs, which, like, good Eagle Scout project, dude. Like, it was gonna be done anyways. Good view of the hill. Now we're gonna go, so that was, I don't know what wing that would be, Samantha. Would you say the left or the right wing? The left wing? That was the left wing of backstage. You really only went over there.
This is where, like, you always entered.
Entered where?
Like, as, like, cast members, because the buses would drop you
Yeah,
off.
yeah. And, like, this is where stuff really happened, was back here. This is where stuff went down. Yeah.
Remember the duties you had as a cast team? Like, you have to serve dinner with your cast team.
Oh, yeah.
I liked that.
Oh, yeah. They're the sister missionaries again. I don't want to bug them, you know. I think these are going to stick around because these are nice bathrooms. But we used to... Actually, I'll go over to the men's. Do you remember... Is that where they had, like, the red lights up? Or the red lights over there? Like, what are those posts? I don't remember anything over there.
I'm trying to think how far people could go. Look, red light.
Yeah, red light. That's so, the red light was so... When the show was going on, like, red lights, they don't... Like, when a red light switches on or off, you don't get distracted by it. But, like, it still helps you see in the dark, but it doesn't distract you from the dark, if that makes sense.
Oh.
I mean, that's why we had red lights. We used to, like, when I was a kid, like 13 or 14, we would jump from each side as a test of will, you know, like chicken.
Why is it fenced up there?
I think there's like generators and stuff up there. I don't know. We can take a look up there later if you want. This is chair storage. I remember the last day of pageant, when everyone was saying their goodbyes, there'd always be like a fireman's chain. They would pass chairs there, and I never wanted to do it, but you always would end up getting sucked in. This is where like the heavier equipment is. Like cherry lifts and stuff. Well, not cherry lift, but you know what I mean. I don't want to get in trouble for those sisters. Here's some of the set, the awful fiberglass material that like you get like little shreds in your skin from. Some signage. The food would go out there. The like food carts.
Like vendors.
Yeah, the vendors, like salted potatoes and stuff. Yeah, let's check the door. I'm pretty sure this stuff is locked because like it's pretty expensive. Yeah, it's locked. But if you look back there, you can see some of the side paneling for the stage. You can get some of that old design. Let's let's walk back there. I just don't want to get in trouble, you know. I don't.
All we have to say is our anniversary and this is going on.
That's true. We can just say it's our anniversary and they'll let us do whatever we want. Yeah, some old staging.
It's broken.
Is it broken?
I'm a rebel.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty tight. Oh, cool. Look at this, we can see behind. So these things that say danger on it, those are water cannons. They would shoot up water during certain scenes where that effect is utilized. Yes, these are water cannons.
Or are they the fire ones?
Well,
Because
I mean, some of these might be fire.
Is this propane?
Propane? I don't know what they are. Well, no, I'm pretty sure that these are the water cannons. I'm 85% sure. But these are the seating. There'd be metal chairs we would all sit on. Here's the podium. One time there was a talent show in here when I was like 13. And we were telling jokes. That was our talent, was jokes. And my stutter was really bad. And I told a joke, but I stuttered through the whole thing. And everyone pretended it was really funny because they didn't want me to feel bad.
It's nice and sad.
It's nice and sad. Cell phone, that's recent. That's not.
Mouse, oh.
Mouse
I thought it was a
repellent.
candy for us or something.
Yeah, mouse repellent, that's a really good candy. Yeah, if you'd walk up here. Wasn't there a dude who would sit here with a computer and like he'd control like the audio? I'm pretty sure that's what this is. The dude would do the audio here. Reserved tech families. So maybe this is where they would do the audio then for the tech families. If you reserved seats here though, and you were not a tech family,
Look at all these cobwebs.
I know it's been a while since someone's really swept up here. But that was one of the not chores, but that was one of the things that we had to do was sweep. I remember sweeping this place up a couple of times. I'm sure I've carved something on one of these tables at one point, but don't have time to look for that. What's this thing called?
Hey guys, I'm editing this now, and I remembered it was called the study shelter.
Also here, here's some audio equipment. I don't know, some might find that interesting. Yeah, so we'd have to come here like twice a day for devotionals. Really boring.
And all your meals.
Well, not all your meals. Only if you got lunch here. We
Lunch
ate.
and dinner is where I ate you.
Yeah?
Because I was at the college.
You were at Hobart?
Like a woo.
It was called like Will Smith and Hobart, wasn't it? This is where food was, and then you would line up for food if you were eating here. Not everyone ate here. Like my family, we never got lunch here once.
Oh,
We
where'd
would,
you go?
so we would have our lunch from home that we would bring.
A packed lunch.
Yeah, and then for supper we would go out usually to like
And I
Wegmans or
guess
something.
Science camp. Why are there open diapers in here?
There are open diapers in here. I don't know. Maybe some weirdo like
That's a diaper, that's a diaper.
maybe they
That's a diaper.
Maybe they get them wet and then they throw them in the freezer, and then when they get hot, they throw it on their head. I remember filling this thing up with milk, though. Like, that's a chore that we had to do. Food service shelter. Another shot of what was this thing called?
Was it called the shelter?
It might have just been called the shelter. I don't know. Just man, I had something else to say about this place. Oh yeah, so at the last night, there's like a screen that they would set up. I don't think it was pulled down from the ceiling. They would set up a screen and they'd be like, you can watch the show. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, I can finally watch the pageant that I've been in for the past week.
Oh my gosh, but it's not you. You're not in it.
Yeah, and then you start watching, and you're like, wait, I didn't do that. And it's like some old footage that they filmed like 5 years ago. And every year this happened, and every year like a new generation would be So disappointed.
Be waiting for them to
They're like,
show
oh my
up.
goodness, that's me. And then a few minutes later, like, they'd have egg on their face. Not literally, figuratively.
Let me tell you, right here
Yeah, what happened here?
is where Gentry approached me and he said, so I heard you have a crush on me.
Who cares about Gentry, honestly?
And I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
If you're watching this and you care about Gentry, like,
And then,
turn off this vid. We don't care about Gentry here. No offense.
and then he's like, yeah, your brother told me. I was like, okay.
That's so cool,
fine.
Gentry. Wow. What a cool dude. JK, dude was not cool and was very self-serious. Lots of hammocks would be hung up here. Lots of tents from the locals. I'm going to show you where our little local village was. And then we'll look in that building later. It might be unlocked, but there's offices and stuff, so I don't know if there's anyone in there. You don't remember this?
I don't remember this.
This is like where I spent most of my time. Because the locals... This place was a lot bigger when I was a kid. The locals would like set up little tents here, and it was called the village. We also called it the ghettos, but in 2020 we have learned that is, you shouldn't jokingly call things the ghettos.
People living in poverty is not fun.
Yeah, it's not, poverty is no joke. It's a systemic issue. But yeah, so we would really set up, usually around here we would set up our little tents, play around, goof around.
Like, what do you mean tents? Like,
Like it was like a tent.
that you sleep in?
No, it was like a tall tent. It was more like a canopy.
Oh.
And we would put it over a table,
Like what
and,
the
and we'd always fight. Like, well, not like physically fight, but like it was always a rush to get like a good spot, and you would show up like a week or two early and fight for the good spot. But sometimes, I'm not gonna name names, some families would show up like a month early. It was like, F you shouldn't have done that. But yeah, so
That's what Mormons are like.
yeah, they are very passive aggressive. Yeah, I spent a lot of time here. And we used to sword fight in the woods. And one time we were sword fighting with sticks in the village. And Cook, he smacked some girl's face with a stick and broke her nose. And then he made up this, huh?
On purpose?
No, not on purpose. It was an accident. And then, but later he lied and said that her nose was already not in the right place, and that he accidentally snapped it back into place, which was a lie.
Well, this was the doctor's office in here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so here I'll talk about this building now. Well, actually, first I want to get a shot of where the casting tents used to be. I forgot what these poles with tires on them were. I don't know if they were anything. Yeah, I don't know what these are. So this is where the cast teams used to be. All the cast team tents look like circus tents. And then parking would be across the street. But then all the anti-Mormons would line up where you have to cross the street. And so they changed it so visitors wouldn't have to interact with anti-Mormons. And the parking lot came over there. And that, I believe, is the Bishop's Storehouse building. I don't know if that's still true. I've been holding this upside down the whole time. Is that gonna affect the footage? I'll just flip it in post. Yeah, here's some stuff. We used to climb around in the woods and stuff. There's a path back there. I don't want to go back there.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Because there are lots of mosquitoes. Here's this was built relatively recently. Like, I want to say like 10 years ago. Which is crazy because I'm pretty sure they're going to tear it down soon.
One time, Rosemary got, I think it was a piece of glass, or maybe the fiber stage in her eye.
Oh, really?
And she had to go.
I believe it. That fiber stage is plumb awful. Yeah, so this is where a lot of the costumes are held, but this is also the pageant office. Let's see if this is... No, it's locked. You can kind of see. This is where the receptionist would sit. Looks like some PR stuff. Stuff like that. Yeah, I remember when this was brand new. It was very exciting because it used to just be like a mobile home. It was a little mobile home.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, look. 2012, so it was made only 8 years ago. No, that can't be right. But it might be right.
This video is gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be a banger.
This was this, maybe.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty positive about most of this stuff. Don't know whose office this is. But that's an old cast photo.
This looks like a doctor's.
Is this the doctor's office, you think?
This could be
The
where
nurse's
he came
office?
in.
What's on the... That's an old blueprint of the stage there. Is it unlocked? No. Some New York licenses we have there.
That's definitely an old picture.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the air's on in there. Sure, it feels nice if you can get in.
Nice. You think anybody lives in this?
Do I think anyone lives in the ice cooler?
I'm gonna open it.
I don't think anyone lives in there. Is this open? No. I can't really see anything in there. I remember the cement floors. I think those are coolers and fridges in there. I don't know. I don't know what used to be in here. I think it's just a place to put things.
I thought those were toilet seats.
Oh, no, and those are washers and dryers for the costumes because the changing area was just over here. So like in my later years, this is where I would change most of the time. Was over here. Yeah, and there was a mini wig station in there too. Yeah, there's a mini wig station. Costumes, you know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's everything.